All right, y'all. What's up? It is Sunday, June the 26th. Holy shit, we're almost into August or July. Damn.
We're almost in August. True.
2022. Welcome to the Zodiac Chatline. I am your host, Tanae, and I have the lovely Cassie with me.
Hey.
Well, girl, so let's start here with welcome to Cancer season. And how is it that a Cancer judge already fucked up Cancer season? Let me tell, give me some pointers. So on Friday, as everybody watching knows, the world started to be on fire for a little bit. Well, not a little bit. The world was set on fire on Friday. And I'm so angry. Like, I'm sad for the people that will be mainly affected by this. This is definitely women of color who don't have access to a rich senator's sneak abortion. But I'm just angry that we are like why? Just there's so many other things as far as climate change and food issues and baby formula shortages that we focus on the wrong things, and I'm just so fucking confused and goddamn angry. And America Zero Stars, girl, get it. And if anybody's watching the TikTok lately, there's one girl asking, what is the greatest scam that you didn't know was a scam? And everybody's saying America. I think as a Zodiac Chatline, we're definitely going to help promote some resources for anybody that needs them. But Cassie, I would love to hear your take on this because, well, you're I know you're ready. Go ahead, girl.
Sure. I'm
ready to sip
expert
my
on
tea.
cancers, so let's
sip
talk
my
about
tea.
it. So yes, we moved into Cancer season. Cancer, as some of you may know, is the sign of the mother. I saw Bongwater Lifeguard join the chat. Your birthday twin, Clarence Thomas, just fucking shit up over here. Cancer men, if they're not wonderful like Bongwater Lifeguard, are legitimately the worst people, like, on Earth, possibly. Like, they may be like the most toxic of toxic male signs if you get a toxic version. And yeah, so it's nothing like Cancer season to make all of us cry for something. And it's fucking so annoying, but it shouldn't surprise anyone that if it wasn't explicitly written down for the benefit of the white men who wrote the Constitution in 1776, then we have got to fight every single day, every single year, every single fucking century this country exists to get it. Like, the rest of us are not guaranteed anything by the Constitution. So
not even Clarence Thomas at the end of the day. Bro, you black and you married a white lady who tried to overthrow the government. Confusion.
Yeah, confusion abounds. Confusion abounds, Clarence.
Yes,
Clarence abounds.
Uncle Clarence Ruckus, like you said, Jamaica. You're right, Uncle Clarence Ruckus.
But you know what? We've got the new moon in Cancer coming up, and we've got Neptune going in retrograde this same day. This is all happening on Tuesday, June 28th. And with new moons, we make intentions. Cancer is the sign of mother. And I encourage you all to make intentions around this. Find an organization, preferably one led by a woman of color, because they tend to have their ear closer to the ground, and especially in the ways that the people who are going to be affected the strongest, how can we reduce harm to those communities? And find a way to get involved that you feel comfortable with. I am #blessed to live in Michigan, a state that you can get ballot initiatives to get stuff on the ballot. And even prior to the Roe v. Wade opinion being leaked, already groups in the state were putting together a ballot initiative. So I've went out and gathered a few signatures myself this weekend. Any Michiganders out there, hit me up in the next couple days, because if we get enough signatures now, it goes on the ballot in November and we can vote to codify reproductive rights here in this state. Janae lives in Georgia, so she does not have ballot initiatives as a possibility, and that's fucked. But there are ways and things to do, and it sucks because I know it's not like we just don't have a lot of good choices politically. But I mean, one group is straight up trying to take us back to the 18th century. So, like, I feel like, you know, we got to try and stop them, right? Like,
yeah. Jamrocka 2 tells us that AOC has a ton of resources on her Instagram, and she has very verbally led the charge to let these motherfuckers know that she's over it. That and I really appreciated what she said was she said, we're not going away. We're going to fight. We are going to, and that is one thing that I will truly agree with, is that we need to have the passion of a mama bear for this.
Yes.
This is what we need to really embody and embrace, is the mama bear energy of protecting our fucking wombs. Because at the end of the day, and, you know, I've had this conversation with Cassie and with Coral, and just most of the time, is that any person out there who has a uterus or who has ever tried to get pregnant knows the difficulty to get pregnant, to sustain the pregnancy, and to go through the birth. All of it is mentally, physically, and emotionally traumatizing, especially if you have miscarriages, especially if you have children that you realize when you get tests and they're born with certain defects or anything like that, where they are no longer a viable fetus. And so there are so many reasons and rules and regulations behind sustaining a pregnancy. Like, it's not that simple as let's just write it off like, no, you can't. It just doesn't make sense. And I had a conversation with a friend the other day, and I asked her, and she's like, I just don't think I ever would. And I was like, well, what if your life was at risk? What if the baby's life was at risk? And then she started to think about it. She's like, well, in these cases, I said, exactly. I said, they don't give us those options. They have made a gray issue very black and white. And it's not. And like I said, anybody that has ever tried to sustain a pregnancy, tried to get pregnant, it's difficult. And anyone that has had a miscarriage or has gone through an abortion, either, you know, because of necessity or by choice, I support you and I stand for you, because that was your body and you needed to do what was best for you. And we have so many children in the adoption system, so many parents who have multiple children, and they cannot afford it. You know, Cass and I are very fortunate to live, I feel, a life where we're not struggling, but like, I couldn't imagine having 3 or 4 or 5 kids, trying to feed them on what the prices are, trying to get gas to go back and forth to work. There's just so many things that come with just after the fact that the child is born, that you're forcing all of these people to sustain something that they can't. Yeah. And then I can't imagine the mental anguish and turmoil that those moms would go through depression, and postpartum is even more increased. And anybody that has ever been pregnant knows that postpartum is fucking real. That shit is real. People go through that, and it's very difficult to come out of that. And so it's like, why do we not care about women in general? Women are the basis of our society. Every person, every fucking judge that voted against it came out of a goddamn vagina. So I'm so fucking confused. You're lucky you didn't get swallowed or you didn't get aborted. Maybe you should have been. I know that's rude, but I'm just saying, y'all see how I feel. I'm so mad about that. Yes, I'm going to sip all my tea and some whiskey with it, because fuck you guys and fuck your goddamn rules. So, and any man in your, listen, I was trying, look, I haven't said anything for a couple days. I really had to keep this in. Any man that's in your life that is not standing against this, you know what? Put him on a pussy diet, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, women, all you have to do is stop fucking men. At the end of the day, you want to force me to have a baby? Great. Guess what? Hand jobs all day. I don't even know what else to say. Like, I don't even know. But
you don't even get a hand.
You better do it yourself. I'm just saying, like, if you can't stand up and stand for that, because at the end of the day, sir, child support, 18 years, that's a long ass time if y'all don't want none. Pull out game better get stronger.
I mean, it's truly it's to keep, you know, a class of, to have a constant source of impoverished people that they can throw into shitty jobs in their fucking widget factories, man. Like it's there, yeah,
No,
there's no
they
good
but
reason. Like they don't
they
give a
said
shit.
it.
They don't give
No.
childcare. They don't give kids lunch in school. They don't want to give teachers money. Like there's nothing to suggest that these
Mm-mm.
people want to care for
Mm-mm.
America's
They don't give no
children.
fuck
There is
because
nothing to
they don't
suggest
they
that.
don't have to. And you know what someone else had said is that Clarence Thomas don't have no skin in the game. His wife ain't getting pregnant anytime soon. So it doesn't matter. And I think like Gold got to be Goldie said, you know, she said the price of pussy just went up. Man, sister girl,
Mm-hmm.
it's so expensive. Can't nobody afford it but you. Okay, that's all I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying.
Mm-hmm.
24 karat gold.
Yes.
Um, but guys, like we said, we're gonna get you some resources. But continue to fight. Do not be discouraged. This is only the beginning, unfortunately, of what they're trying to do, and we cannot be silenced. We cannot let this slide. We have to let them
Mm-hmm.
know that this ain't. We not doing this. We not doing this. This is not where we supposed to be in 2022. What the
No,
fuck?
no, we did better than this in the 90s, you guys, and we didn't even
What?
have the internet. And honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, those two things are probably connected. Anyway, to build on that,
Yes.
Tanae's Mama Bear suggestion, that is your sigil for this new moon, right? So how are you going to take care of you in this moment? How are you going to take care of the people closest to you in this moment? Where can you
Mm-hmm.
channel, like, and I do, you know, something that's so hard for me, is so easy for me to say and so hard for me to practice, is like, I know that it can't just be rage. Like we also have to find compassion and forgiveness in some of this. And that's really hard, but that's also a lesson of being of Cancer season, right? And it's the extremities of emotion, the way that you can swing from rage to giving. And you know, how can you turn your justifiable rage into something that can grow positively? And you know, it may be, especially with Neptune going retrograde that day, is going to remove some of the veil. Neptune has been in
Mm.
Pisces, just showering us with illusions. But eclipse season lifted some things back, and now Neptune's going to go retrograde and is going to, you know, reveal even more. And I would suggest take a couple days, you know, maybe do your new moon intentions on my birthday, the 30th. But give yourself
Whoop
a
whoop.
couple days to kind of ruminate on it, and see what gets shown to you, and see where you can follow that flame inside you,
Yeah.
because it's also a river, you know,
Yeah. And
Cancer
I also,
season.
for sure. And the last bit of that is that with that mama energy, channel it into educating younger women about themselves, about their bodies, about what that means, and how to take control over their bodies when it comes to having sexual experiences with people. You know, and just being honest about it. And you know, sex is not everything. It's something,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not everything.
I have
Um,
managed to teach my 1-year-old daughter not to stick her hands in poop anymore, so I feel pretty good about
Hey, Mama
myself for
Bear.
that.
Also, while she slid this in here, y'all, send Cassie all your love this week. Her birthday will be happening at the end of this week. So, whoop, whoop, we stand a Cancer queen because she's my Cancer queen.
I'm turning 30 something, you guys. Oh,
Oh my
so
God, whatever.
excited.
You're 21 forever.
Thanks.
Okay, so who we got? Who we got? Let's get this person. They've been too patient.
Yes. Oh, our
Let's get her
guest
on
today.
here.
Oh, a true Aquarius queen. Aquarius sun, Aquarius moon, and Libra rising. Please bring on Meggan. She is, I am so excited to talk to her, you guys. She is Aquarius since Aquarius since Aquarius. And we are going to chat all about it.
Yes, and just let's see. There she is. Okay, did she come in? Did she come
Hey,
in? Okay, there she
Meggan.
is.
Yay.
Hey.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. How you doing tonight?
Good. How are you guys doing?
You
Oh,
heard.
you know, raging but good. That's been the mood for the past like 3 months, to be honest. Um, we talked a little on the pre-call about like astrology being kind of a newer interest for you. So can you tell us, what do you know about your sign of Aquarius?
It has to deal with water,
Water
a
bearer. Mm-hmm.
water bearer, and that that's basically all I really know.
Okay. All right. I'm going to let Tanae dive into Aquarius because she is also an Aquarius sign. So Tanae.
Well, I like that you said Aquarius reminds you of water because a lot of people group Aquariuses into the element of a water sign, even though we are very much represented by the air sign because our senses are always thinking. We don't know how not to think. Our mind is our greatest friend and our best enemy all at the same time. But what I do like about what you said is water is that it is true that we are probably a undercover water sign because we tend to hold our emotions in that jug. If you see the Aquarian sign, the Aquarian is pouring water
Yep.
out and it's all the knowledge. But what Aquarians do with their emotions is they separate them from themselves. So they're there and they are vast and they are deep. And I can only imagine that you probably feel a lot more deeper than most people would expect. And only those extremely close to you know that. But other than that, Aquarius is definitely an air sign that pours out its emotions into humanity when it wants to. Otherwise, it keeps it right on the side and goes along because it's safer that way. Because otherwise, Aquariuses would be turn into cancers and into mush about everything. So, although your chart is quite interesting because you have if you have you ever looked at your chart before?
A little tiny.
Okay,
I'll
so
hold it up. I'm going to put all the identifying information down
all
so
of
no
the
one can
houses
stalk you.
go around, and each house represents. And the fourth house, it normally represents the sign of Cancer, and that's where you have the most concentrated energy. You have what we call a stellium when you have three or more planets into one sign. But it is in the fourth house of Cancer. So you have your sun there, you have your moon there, you
Right.
have your Mercury there, and you have your Venus. So it's who you are, how you feel, how you speak, and how you love are all in Aquarius in the fourth house. And so that is where I figure the depth of what you're feeling actually comes from is that you can't help it. You are living in a water house with a thinking mind and it probably drives you crazy. So my first question to you about that is how important are home and family?
Very important. Very important. Like that
Mm-hmm.
priority.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you, one question I have about that stellium in your fourth house as well is how do you like, what is your ability to maintain your own peace versus the peace of others in the household?
Well, until recently, I was keeping it separate because there was somebody that was in that didn't want to be part of my family, but they wanted to be with me. So I
Mm.
kept them separate from that. So I realized that I can't do that because that's not being true to myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Aquarius is a sign. So uh to go like a little bit more basic, as we're talking about Aquarius being an air sign, all signs have an element and a quality, right? So the element is air, water, earth, or fire. Aquarius air sign. And the quality is cardinal, fixed, or mutable. Cardinal signs tend to be doers. They're good at starting things and getting people excited about stuff, and they're not so good at following through with things. fixed signs, which is what Aquarius is, and your chart has a lot of fixed energy in it, are not necessarily the best at coming up with the idea, but when they find the idea that they latch onto, they will stick with it and they will stay with it, sometimes well past the point of it really serving them, just to kind of prove a point. And then the other quality is mutable, which they are the receptive people of the zodiac, right? Like they kind of like let everything imprint on them, and you never quite can pin down a mutable sign person. But you have a lot of fixed energy in your chart, not just from your Aquarius placements, but also you have Scorpio placement and a Leo placement. So one question I have for you is, how and when do you decide to let things go?
That was the best. That's gonna make a great clip.
Oh man. It takes time. It takes time. Like I don't let go easy. Like I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter. And I think coming to realize that I shouldn't have to fight. Fight, you know?
That's so true. I think honestly, that's a struggle for a lot of people here in the United States, where, and I think all probably like heavily capitalist countries, where we're taught that the work we do is so important. And I've started to realize places where like it feels like, oh, if stuff's not hard, it's not worth it or whatever. But like, it's okay for things to be easy sometimes. And especially when it comes to, again, if we're thinking about all these Aquarius placements for you in the fourth house of your home and family, like that should be a place where you are able to feel peace, and it should be, I think as you grow and evolve, finding and seeking out those things that make you feel balanced and centered and calm, and where sticking with it doesn't feel like work, where it just feels like the natural kind of flow for you. But it's, Aquarians have a hard time just being guided by their intuition because they want to analyze everything. Like it's also a thing where like not everything has to have three deeper meanings. Today I'm not trying to read you guys.
You see how just like, what else you got to say?
But I mean, it's not to say that nothing does, but I that's just to say that, the analysis paralysis thing can be something that like kind of has to be overcome when you have, I think anyone with a lot of air sign placements, and especially a lot of Aquarius placements, gotta give yourselves a break sometimes.
Meditation is super helpful, and healthy emotional detachment is super helpful. Because when Cassie asked how do you let go, you have to let go through emotional detachment, because the only reason you're holding on is because of emotional attachment. It's not because it's even good for you. And sometimes it's, you know what? I don't give a fuck. I'm going to be stubborn and I'm going to hold on to this. Even if you should let go. You're like, I don't care. I'm going to see this through to the end. And then you're just like, why did I do that? Like, I should have just let that shit go. What did it take for you to build a solid foundation for yourself?
I think like what you were saying, finding my alone time and being accepting that it's okay to be alone and be with my family, with my two boys, and to be content. I think finding that purpose of being content was so important, and to understand that we are a great family, and my boys, I'm the perfect mom for them, no matter.
Yes.
Oh, just being happy with that. Like my home has never been like so happy as it is right now. Like it's just a great place for my kids and I. Like we communicate, they're honest, and I can't ask for more than that.
That's so wonderful.
We love to hear it.
Round of applause for Meggan, whose oldest just graduated high school, you
I
guys.
am going to.
You know what? It's like my brother Jim. Went through some struggles there, but
Listen,
he's a wonderful and smart. Both boys are just
made
lovely,
it.
and yeah, he
Made
made
it.
it. So he'll have fun in adulthood. What are your sun signs? I don't even know. When are their birthdays?
John's is March 16th and Mateo's is September 4th.
A Pisces
Okay.
and a Virgo.
Wow, that's so interesting. Okay.
Wow, like opposites.
Mm-hmm.
They are.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you have Pluto in your first house, and Pluto is known for the planet of transformation. It is in Libra, and it is retrograde. So that is not the most comfortable placement for Pluto. And to have it retrograde, a lot of when we notice any kind of retrograde planets in someone's chart, a lot of that is felt internally. So my question to you is, have you found it challenging to transform or reinvent yourself?
Yes. Yes.
How have you overcome that challenge, or how have you worked with that?
Just being accepting of myself, and I had a situation happen and I was just like, that's it. I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
I was over it. I was like, that's what I needed to happen, and just moving on and just accepting who I am, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's interesting that you bring that up, accepting who you are, because you have a Libra rising, and Libras can be so. All right. First of all, your
Yeah.
rising sign is actually the sign that was rising over the eastern horizon at the moment you were born. In like ancient astrology, your rising sign is considered your sign. It's considered the most important part of your chart. And it is the reason that we need your exact birth time in order to do your chart, because it changes every couple of hours, the rising sign. And so for you, you do have all this Aquarius energy. The sun in modern astrology, we gotta be Goldie, also Libra rising. In modern astrology, we consider the sun the primary influence, the moon, this moon and rising kind of tied, I would say, for the second most important, right? But Libra risings have this unique thing because Libra is, all right, this again, I've got to get kind of nitty gritty, so I'm going to dive into the explanation. But in this first sign of the zodiac is Aries, and Aries' opposite sign is Libra. Aries should be at the first house position, but when you're Libra rising, you get Libra at the first house position, which means every house is ruled by its opposite sign. So the first house is typically ruled by Aries. In your chart, it's ruled by its opposite sign, Libra, and it goes on through the whole chart. And so for people who have Libra rising positions, I think there's a constant tension between who you are and who you want to be perceived as. And it's very much like everything has to get looked at from both two angles. I think for Libra rising people, it's like every aspect of their life, they're calling into question
Mm-hmm.
it and its opposite. Like for you, for example, your 10th house of career the 10th house should be ruled by Capricorn. Yours is ruled by Cancer. So the tension of motherhood and career is very distinct in your chart. And you have Mars in that house in Cancer, which means taking action in retrograde, right?
Yeah, in retrograde.
In retrograde.
Yeah.
So you've had to take all this internal action in that opposition, right? Like figuring out, how can I be the mom I want to be? How can I have the career I want? And it's like a constant kind of balancing act. How do you maneuver between who you are and like who you want the world to see?
That's a good question. I guess it's like a goal. Like that's where I want to go. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
let me see how I can get there, and see if I can maneuver it that way. Sometimes,
Mm.
you know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good. And it works too because your karmic path is headed toward Libra also. So it is, I think part of it is being able to, like, ultimately your path is to be able to be yourself in relationship to other people.
Mm-hmm.
So not just yourself and F everybody else, right? I don't care about anyone else at all, but also not losing yourself in relationships to other people, not allowing who you really are to be subverted to who that person wants you to be or whatever. And while we're on the subject of your North Node
Uh,
karmic path, Tanae, you want to dive into that a little bit?
I was, but I wanted to ask her one more question
Oh,
before we
sure.
got
Yeah,
into
yeah.
that,
Mm-hmm.
because we had talked about this with another person. So we, you don't have any Earth energy, and so we love to ask anybody with no Earth and all this lovely mental energy that you have, how do you ground yourself?
hmm, sometimes it's taking a nap or painting or reading. Like, I just have to, or I might be going for a drive in the car with music going and just drive and all of that. So it depends, honestly, how I ground myself and get back to it.
Okay, okay, okay. I like that.
That's
And
so funny because Tanae just literally on the call right before we started this live was like, man, I had to take a nap today. That's got to be
Oh,
the
true.
Aquarius's only way to ground themselves is to just
it's to
shut it
shut
down.
off. Yes, yes. There is no
So much
other.
mental energy,
No,
like
it's
so
that,
much
like
mental
she said,
energy.
the music, like I have playlists for days, because otherwise I will be just like, I get that. The only other thing I wanted to ask, because your Venus is an Aquarius and that's a special place for it. In love, how much does a solid friendship basis mean to you?
I have to have that. Have to have that.
Have you found that that has been what's happened in your relationships, or did you have to
I,
go through to find that out?
the last one, I thought he was my best friend, and then he wasn't.
Mm.
So I know now moving forward, I need to have that basis and other stuff, not just that. And I
Oh
think that's
my.
what he was trying to keep a hold of. He's like, we're just great best friends. But I'm like, no,
Mm.
I need more than that.
All
Mm.
right. Well, that you are on the right path. That's what
Mm-hmm.
you know, like, and
Whew.
you have all of that Aquarian energy, and so for you, you need to be established with someone that is equally yoked with you, that understands that friendship is the basis of a relationship. Like,
Mm-hmm.
otherwise, I just don't know if that would work for you. And somebody that feels like home to you, if that makes sense as
Mm.
well. Like
Mm-hmm.
not just a friendship, but home, which is all in one. Um,
And I would say too, with that Aquarius placement, somebody whose values really reflect your own, because Aquarians are so it's so important to them, the groups that they care about, and not just their, your family, which is of course close to you, and especially with all that energy concentrated in your fourth house, your immediate family is the most important thing in your life. But you also you see family reflected in other groups, in larger groups, in, whether it's church community or in your classroom or wherever else. And so finding somebody who also fits into those larger circles that you fit in, I think will be really helpful. And yeah, I think teaching is such a great field for you, and you have your North Node is in your 12th house. So before we even talk about your specific path, just it being located in basically right at the end of the zodiac, which is where things get the most mystical, that I could see someday, if you ever, I don't know if you've ever had the desire to like teach something spiritual, or be like I even thought, like, I don't know if you've ever thought to like be a Sunday school teacher or something like that, but like, it,
are you?
No, but I've been led a few times, like thinking that way, like doing something towards that.
I think that you're being led in the right way. I think that learning to trust your intuition is something that will help you with that, especially because, as Cassie said, it is in the 12th house of mysteries and a spirituality and a kind of like knowing beyond knowing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Hmm.
Um, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so your North Node, as we were talking about. So we like to look at karmic paths, and your karmic path is called the Way of Discipline.
Mm.
And it goes from the first week decan of Aries to the first week of Libra. And that first week of Aries is the child, and the child is the very first Aries energy. And so it's literally like a brand new baby that knows nothing.
Nothing.
And it goes all the way to the perfectionist of Libra. And for me, that first week of Libra is definitely about the visual and the appearance and how they appear to others, and making it seem so picture perfect.
Mm.
Um, but in the 12th house, I think it gets a little lost on what that's supposed to be.
Mm.
Um, so, what the balance point within your karmic path is the balance between passion and detachment, because Aries has a lot of passion, and Libra is an air sign, so its detachment is there.
Mm.
Even though Libras do seek partnerships and they find that they can um, flourish best in partnerships, they still have a very emotional detachment to them. So the goal for your karmic path is to share your keen observations in a gentle and helpful manner. The release is overly high standards that you set for yourself or for other people. Um, the reward is the joy of affecting positive change. The gifts that you have are enthusiastic, thoughtful, and persistent. Some of your pitfalls or challenges can be foolhardily compulsive or excessive. The suggestion is to more can be achieved through planning than through bluster. Um, Learn to overlook inefficiencies and imperfections. The crystal that we offer to you is Petersite. It dispels layers of illusion and assists one to perceive the bigger picture. This stone illuminates through loving guidance without judgment and holds a vibration of leadership. The affirmation is the clarity of inner sight reveals the best choices for actions, and I make them without hesitation. And
Ooh.
so, as Cassie said to you before, again, the inner insight. You've had inner insights of teaching Sunday school, and you may find that that is where your new community is. That is where you can mother in other ways, because, I believe you are a second mom to all of your little children. We shout them out, and I'm so thankful that you are teaching them, because I feel like they will definitely change the world. So that is your karmic path. So we like to, your karmic path represents more of a soul path. Not just about your sun sign. So it goes deeper than that. It's really who you are, because, we live in these skin suits, but underneath it all, our soul is really where we're trying to evolve to. So with that said, we have a fun new game for you.
Mm-hmm.
And we normally call it Blame on Your Big Three, but we are going to call it Aquarian authors that you have to pick. So Cassie
Ooh.
and I have each picked a set of three authors. And out of those three, one of those authors is an Aquarius. So Cassie and
Cassie. No,
girl, I think I brought my son. Cassie and I each have two sets of three that we're going to read to you. And it's literally choose your own adventure. So we're just going to read the names of these authors, and you pick which one you think is Aquarius, okay?
mm-hmm.
All right, Cassie, take it away.
All right, I'm gonna go first. We're gonna go with the ladies of yesteryear: Emily Bronte,
Okay.
Jane Austen, or Virginia Woolf.
I think it's Emily Bronte.
Ooh, close. She's Aquarius opposite sign Leo. It was actually Virginia Woolf,
Very
who
nice.
also I thought was interesting because you mentioned learning to cultivate alone time and learning that that was important to you. And one of her like most famous pieces of writing is A Room of One's Own. And it's really just all about how to survive and thrive in the world, a woman needs a space where she can do work of her own. So
Yes. Yes. Aquariuses need alone time in order to rejuvenate away from all the energies from other people. I live for my alone time. Most people that know me are like, are you alive? Are you okay? Yep. Just fine. Love my own energy. Okay.
We started this show just to check in with Tanae once a week.
Oh,
No, I'm just kidding. But
kind of. Okay. So next I have for you Zora Neale Hurston, Audre Lorde, or Bell Hooks.
Audre Lorde.
Yes, girl, you better know. Whoop, 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 whoop. Yep. I don't have anything to say, but we love her. We love us on Audre Lorde.
Yes. All right, men of yesteryear. I've got Edgar Allan Poe, Oscar Wilde, or Charles Dickens.
Charles Dickens.
Yes, girl.
Yes.
She was like, I'm gonna get these. I'm gonna get these. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, we have Octavia Butler, Alice Walker, or Lorraine Hansberry.
Octavia Butler.
Ooh, we would like to say happy belated birthday to Octavia. She is a Cancer. No, the correct answer is Alice Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But 2 out of 4
yeah.
ain't bad.
No, you did
Crushing it.
amazing. Thank you so much. Do you have any questions? You want to tell the fans anything?
No.
She said no.
I'm good. I'm excited. You gave me a lot of relief and understand that it's okay for me to have alone time because
Oh my God.
I like stay on my patio all summer long. I'm like,
I say this, and especially as a mom, you know how you're on the airplane, and what do they tell you? They tell you to always put the mask on yourself first. And it is vital in order for you to be a good mom, to be a good human, and to be a good person. And you were Meggan, the woman, before you were Meggan, the mom. And so that person has to stay okay in order for Meggan, the mom, to evolve. So cultivate and nurture the hell out of yourself this week. And if you can't, and you need to enjoy that alone time in order to be able to give to others.
Mm-hmm.
So stay with that. You're doing it right. Teach them kids. Teach them well.
Listen to your instincts. They're there for a reason.
then
Oh, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
So nice to meet you.
Out, but please come back in. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I hope that
You love it.
spend some family time with Meggan. Meggan is part of my family. I didn't say that, but
Cassie bringing the whole family on here.
That's right.
As a Cancer, she brings her family on here.
You guys want to come on the show?
I'm the Aquarius. You saw one family member just by accident.
Right. Right. Just so happens she's also a podcaster. So.
Oh, all right. So, guys, does anybody have any questions in the chat? If you have questions, whatever, guys, drop some questions for us. We have like one or two, but if you guys have any questions, we would love to answer them.
It's that time of day.
You know? So, I think we do, let's see. So we do have one. Mm-hmm. You want to go with that one first?
Sure.
Okay.
Do you think the signs act differently depending on the hemisphere of their birth?
This is a little tricky email. I mean, dang.
Yeah, this is deep. So, okay, I'm not sure. My answer is I don't know. I honestly, when I was thinking about this question, because, in those of y'all in the chat, probably remember that in the Southern Hemisphere, it's winter when it's summer here, right? Like, so it's winter now in the Southern Hemisphere. And I truly don't know if folks in the Southern Hemisphere's charts are like flipped, or if someone born today in Australia is a Cancer or a Capricorn. It's weird to me to think that Cancer season would be the dead of winter.
Right.
Although honestly, I vibe that a little bit. But it's strange, and I don't know. It's like, that was a really good question. Something I'll have to do some research on, because I feel a strong connection between sun sign seasons and the actual season in which they occur.
Yeah.
I detect a correlation in Leo season and the height of summer, and Aquarius season and the dead of winter. You know, like, it was hard for me to imagine those things being flipped. I'm not 100% sure. So
we're going to go with what Cassie said. Side note, Alex, we actually answered your question last week, I believe.
We did.
About the weather. We did answer it last week. So if you want to go check that out, sorry. But I saw Awesome Couch's question and Gotta Be Goldie. So we'll go with Gotta Be Goldie's first. Gotta Be Goldie. And Austin, I can't wait to have you on the show. Gotta Be Goldie says, can you tell me about the Cancer children? My baby turned 2 last Friday.
Happy birthday to your baby.
Yes. So, Cassie, what would you like as a Cancer baby?
So sensitive. I was the most sensitive child. I was one of those kids that everyone called an old soul, and I had very bad anxiety as a child, like crippling anxiety. And I think I have maintained that anxiety, I think, is a natural response of sensitive people to an overstimulating, fucked up world. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? I don't think it's not that, you know, if you're anxious, it's something wrong with you per se. It's just that you're very sensitive, and your heightened sensitivities are triggered by a lot of things. So
yeah.
Just be patient with that baby, because she
we can't tell, is it she or he?
I think it's she. I'm pretty sure, because I follow
okay.
Goldie on my personal IG. But probably very sensitive, gonna be very moody. I was super emo as a teen, like just so sad. Was in the poetry club, because that was a real thing in my high school. And but yeah, you know, she'll probably,
I would say, give her some, like, you're a Leo mom. We do know that you're a Leo. And so I think that you two are going to learn how to balance your emotions together, because I think her watery self is going to be overwhelmed by a lot and by her environment. And I think it would be helpful to help her find really good ways in order to protect herself emotionally the best. Not that she should hide her emotions, not that she should not have them, but because she's going to be so sensitive to the world. Oh, girl. Sorry, y'all. She just said her child is a Leo moon also. Okay, so like we said, give your daughter the tools to be able to navigate her emotions healthily. That's the best thing I can say, because she is a ball of emotions. I think everybody will be able to read your child when she walks into a room, whether she's happy, sad, indifferent. She will probably walk into a room and change the mood of a room very easily.
Yeah.
And so getting her to have really good, healthy emotional boundaries is going to be the best thing. And I mean, she's only 2. She said, why do you think I'm crazy? Because you're in Leo. Also, random side note, Gotta Be Goldie, please go sign your release
form. Do not get after her on the show. Do not get after her on the show.
You know, the Aquarian, I'm just saying, girl, this is here. She hears it. She's in there. No, but definitely give her some grace. I think your child's going to be a beautifully amazing individual, but her emotions will have to be something that she wants to be able to be safe in.
Yeah.
You know?
Just listen to her. My
Yeah.
mom was so kind and
You got
listened
a
to me.
Pisces mama, though.
I know.
So
That's
you,
why I'm saying I think it comes naturally to some and not always to
yeah.
others. But so my mom was an incredible listener. She just let me pour out all my crazy feelings and never made me feel bad about it. And one thing I will say, as a sensitive kid who had a lot of feelings, is I still hate being laughed at when I'm not trying to be funny.
Mm.
So it was like the most hurtful thing. And it was usually my Capricorn father that would be the offender of laughing at something that, was really upsetting me, which I'm sure was fucking so minute. But like, yeah, it's, watch that urge, because kids can be hilarious, but like sometimes you're sensitive kids just gonna be sensitive about it.
um
All right, should we get to Awesome Couch, since he was at the
we
top of the
we
question
do,
chain?
and then underscore Belvis, we're gonna answer that next week. We'll have our FBI agent put that in there for us, so we'll answer you
Yes.
next week. Them damn Capricorn men, not for the faint of heart.
It's true.
Like,
The man taught me a lot. God has rest his soul. But it was not always an easy lesson.
Listen, talk about father.
Right.
Okay, go ahead. Awesome Couch.
Does Cancer season affect sleep, especially if you are a handsome Gemini?
So clearly Venus is in Gemini with his
Oh, that's spicy.
his patting
Cancer
himself on the
season
back.
to me is a sleepy season. It is. Cancer. This is not a high energy time of year, babies. This is
No, we
the
just left Gemini
hottest
season.
hot of the year. It's time for a nice glass of sweet tea and a nap on the couch watching a
Girl,
baseball game.
a
Like,
nap, a cuddle, a bath, a
mm-hmm.
massage,
Yeah.
anything that's nurturing, good home cooked meal.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that's just nurturing to you. I am a huge fan at my senior citizen age of naps. I think they are amazing. I think that as adults, we forgot when we were children that naps was cool. But as an adult, like, our bodies tell us what we need. And I think that some seasons do affect everybody. And I think
Mm-hmm.
Cancer season it's a good regeneration. It's a good recharge is to sleep and to be cozy and comfortable. Because like Cassie said, it's hot as fuck. I don't know where y'all live, but like,
It don't matter.
it's like
It's hot there. I can almost guarantee it.
we are in hell, literally and figuratively, the way this is going. So I would definitely say learning to nurture your family bonds, your relationships. I think that's also a good way. Taking naps with your partner. I stand that.
And honestly, that's probably another reason Cancer season is so exhausting. Right. Yeah, it's true. I wish someone would make me take a nap at 3 p.m. Like, my child is so mad about it. But I think that's another reason why Cancer season is sleepy, is it's emotionally draining. It is a time when we're linking up with our ancestors and feeling feelings about our family, and that's exhausting for a lot of people.
Yeah.
For most of us, I would say.
And especially coming off of exhausting ass Gemini season.
Right.
It's like, when we talked about transitioning from signs and how it's like quick, slow, the energy kind of moves around. After Cancer season, we rear up into Leo season, where everybody wants to be a shining star. So I think we need to take those seasons in between that give us a break, i.e. lovely Cancer season. Take a nap. Go lay by the pool. Go to the beach. Put your feet in some water. All of those things. Guys, I just want to... We're going to answer more questions next week, because we're going to get you your tarot this week. I know you guys love this part. But I just want to thank everybody that checked out our last week Juneteenth show. YouTube, it blew up. Not super viral, but like more than we've ever had. So if you haven't checked it out, please go check it out. We did a summer solstice Juneteenth anniversary extravaganza. It is on our YouTube. Please check it out. It was a really good show.
The people loved it.
We got So many likes. Underwater cuddle nap. Yep.
Yes,
Mermaids.
yes, that is the
All
Cancer
about it.
season motto: underwater cuddle nap.
Yes. So we do have a couple more weeks. We do have 3 or 4 more guests left. 3 of them are actually in the chat right now. We are super excited to see everybody. Gotta be Goldie. Cannot wait for you next week. I am so
Yes.
excited.
Awesome Couch gonna cap off our season. It's gonna be
Awesome Couch.
fabulous.
And
Jam
then Jam
Rocka.
Rocka. So all 3 of y'all in a row. We will see y'all in the next couple weeks. In honor of lovely Cancer season, today I'm going to pull from one of my favorite decks, even though they all are pretty much my favorite, but this one is a good one. This is going to be the Divine Feminine Oracle, boop, 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 by Meggan Watterson. Oh, look, another Meggan. Hey.
Yes.
And as you guys know, these cards always seem to talk and tell us exactly what we need to know, see, hear, and feel. And so, again, as we said in the top of the show, use your rage for good, nurture yourself and your family and your surroundings. Girl, you are not going to embarrass yourself. We are going to have some fun. It's like a good girlfriend chit chat. Come on now.
That's right.
That's it. We embarrass ourselves every week and we don't care.
We love it.
It's permanent. It's in internet space, and Cassie and I were born before the internet space. So yeah, pussy power on deck.
Amen. Who is gonna lead us into our new moon in Cancer?
Myo-shan, the Princess of Mercy. Giving is receiving. The energy of the universe is merciful. Now, isn't that an interesting...
Yes.
All right,
Let's
bear
hear
with me,
more.
guys. This is, we're going to run just a little bit over, but, you know, we're going to do it anyways.
Oh, I love the apple in her hand and the
Ooh,
tiger.
yes, right? Almost for Leo energy, almost a little bit of Eve energy with the apple. All right. Myo-shan represents the incarnation and fulfillment of mercy. She was a Chinese princess who is believed to have lived during the Tang dynasty and to have been the incarnation of the goddess Kuan Yin. She was the daughter of a king who wanted her to marry a wealthy man in order to secure more wealth and power for himself. When she refused, the king sent her to live in a monastery on a secluded island off the coast of China. When the king found out that Myo-shan had transformed the barren island into a paradise, he got so angry that he ordered the monastery to be burned to the ground. But when Myo-shan saw the monastery in flames, she pricked the tip of her tongue with a hairpin and magically summoned a storm that put out the fire. The king then ordered Myo-shan's execution, but no blade or sword could kill her. Instead, each weapon shattered into pieces before touching her body. After several attempts, a gorgeous glowing white tiger appeared and spirited Myo-shan away. The tiger took her to meet Yama, the ruler of hell. Myo-shan immediately heard the suffering of the souls all around her, and by one, she liberated them with the fierce power of her empathy. Yama had to send Myo-shan away because she was transforming hell into heaven. He gave her the peach, it's a peach, of longevity as a gift. Myo-shan meditated for many years on the island of Putuoshan. News reached her, next page, sorry. News reached her that the king was on the verge of death and that he needed the eyes and arms of a person without anger in order to live. Myo-shan gave him her eyes and arms. The king was revived and came to honor the person who had saved his life. When he saw that his savior was Myo-shan, he fell to his knees, humbled by the extent of her mercy. When your soul selects this card, the author Sue Monk Kidd articulates the process of empathy so clearly when she writes, "Empathy is the most mysterious transaction that the human soul can have, and it is accessible to all of us, but we have to give ourselves to the opportunity to identify, to plunge ourselves in a story where we see the world from the bottom up or through another eyes or heart. Empathy is mercy's twin sister. When we can feel into the reality of someone else's suffering, we open up to the possibility of mercy. Mercy comes from the old Estacrucian merc, which means exchange. Mercy is the embodiment of compassion. It can feel easy or even natural to have compassion for people who have never harmed us personally. But mercy is having compassion for someone who has. Wow. Mercy requires that we give something of ourselves, which is symbolized by Mioshan giving her eyes and arms to the king. It can feel like a great sacrifice to be so giving towards someone who has given us nothing but suffering. Here's where the magic comes in. The law of the universe is merciful. The more we give, the more we receive. When the king realized the profound act of mercy his daughter bestowed upon him, Mioshan transformed into her true manifestation as the thousand-armed Kuan Yin. Mioshan is a reminder that giving is the true receiving. When we refuse to release our anger towards someone, we're blocking the flow of the universe within us. We are not harming the person who harmed us by remaining angry. We are keeping ourselves from receiving the love and light that is already ours. The soul voice meditation. Who can I give mercy to in this moment? The intention, giving is receiving. The energy of the universe is merciful. Well,
Gotta be Goldie, hit it. We got real work to do this week. Whoo, yes.
so that's perfect for Cancer season. That's perfect for all of the energy that we are angrily feeling right now, and to be able to transform it into mercy and compassion. And so I ask you all to sit with that and include yourself in giving mercy and compassion to yourself. I think that's also important. And whoever is angering you at the most in this moment, I think that that is also, important. So as always,
Clarence Thomas, you live to see another day.
listen. You know what? Now listen, gotta be Goldie. I'm with you. I'm with you. Tired of turning the other cheek. And I don't think we necessarily need to turn the other cheek. I think we just need to let the cheek that stings be shown and allow that to transform into the energy of reminding ourselves of why it's stinging and how to make that work for us and not against us, because like the book said, the anger doesn't hurt us. It doesn't hurt that person. It actually hurts us. And yes, look at these folks. Y'all rally. I ain't even mad at it, player. We got to rally.
Right.
Listen. When you know your tribe is on your same level, we see y'all. We
Right.
appreciate y'all. Oh my God, Cassie, this was great. Happy early revolution around the sun. Blessed. You already
Solar
know
return.
I'm gonna holla at you for the rest of the week. But guys, send Cassie all of your love this week. It is her birthday week. Brr, brr, brr.
Allegedly, is time real? We don't know.
I mean, it's real enough because we'll be in July just after your birthday. So
Crazy.
what is this real? Peaches for all. Yes. Don't. Yeah, that's not what I think of when I see peaches, but yeah.
All right.
Well, thank you so much, guys.
Thank
Meggan,
you.
thank you for coming on. You were an amazing
Yes.
guest, my fellow Aquarian sister. Remember to stay grounded, keep that intuition on point, be the mom to everybody, especially to yourself. Cassie, I love you, girl. I could never do this without you. I'm so proud of us. Thank you. To all the peeps out there, we will see you next week, same time, same place. And gotta be Goldie. Be ready, girl. So thank you so much, guys. It's all love, always. And what, Cassie?
Peace.
Hey.